Hey, this is Dr. Barrett. Thanks for joining us on the Real Health Podcast. My passion is to help equip you with information that can change your life, the health of your life, and the health of your families. I'm a board-certified chiropractic physician with a passion and emphasis in nutrition and sleep and how to biohack the body to get to a greater level of health. Thanks for listening in to the Real Health Podcast. Hey friends, we are in a series talking about supplements. So this is the last episode of our supplement series, and we are going to touch base on a multivitamin. So we're going to talk just about what we should look for, and honestly, what we should look for in terms of not taking. Like that's not a high quality multivitamin. So we're going to talk through that. Also, kind of previewing what's heading down, coming down the pipe. Our next series is going to be a multi-part series on vaccines. So we're going to touch base on all the way from like the daily schedule, the recommended schedule from the CDC on vaccines. Like most people don't know, a child between 0 and 18 years of age will get 69 doses. And most offices around the country now are requiring all 69 doses in children, or they just get kicked out of the office. But we're going to help address vaccines as a whole. We're going to talk through the inception of them and how they've evolved. And then we'll touch base actually on very specific ones in particular that a lot of patients have questions about. So man, I'm so looking forward to those episodes coming out in terms of vaccines. It's a hot topic. I get it. And we're going to dive into it. We're going to address it head on. We'll talk through flu shot. We'll talk through COVID vaccine. And so just so you know what's coming down the pipe, that's what we'll be talking about. So anyway, hey, this is a season right now where it's getting colder. So now would be a great time to start your cold plunging or cold shower, contrast shower. So for me, the water temperatures are starting to drop. So every morning I get out of my sauna, I jump in my pool. The pool isn't super cold, but I'm just starting to kind of create the routine and the habit so I'm not like fully shocked here in a month or so when the water temperature is really, really low. And so for you, if this is new for you, now's a great time. I'm just going to plug it. Now's a great time to start your contrast shower so that colder water isn't as cold right now as it will be here in a month, and you'll be able to adjust a lot easier once you get into the routine of it. So this is your plug. Let's get back to contrast showers. Let's get back into cold plunging. All right. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk through the multivitamin. And when it comes to a multivitamin, most patients ask me, hey, should I be taking a multi? And here's how I treat my supplementation plan. So I treat my supplementation plan in seasons. So what do you mean, Barrett? So here's what I mean. There will be a season where I'm just trying to create general wellness health. So I'll do a multi-omegas, vitamin D. I will be supplementing with probiotic. I'll be taking my whey protein. I'll take 5 grams creatine a day. And so I'll just call that more like general health, okay? Now, there are seasons where I'll go through detoxification, or I'll go through an immune reset, or I'll address neurotropics and focus on brain health. And so what I'll do in those seasons is kind of like restrict all the supplements that I'm taking so it doesn't feel overwhelming popping 100 pills a day. I don't mind taking 20, 30 supplements. I can swallow 8 at a time, not a big deal. But at the same time, it can get a little overwhelming to be cracking bottles open all day. So I like to step in seasonally and address certain parts of my body. And when it comes to those seasons that change, a multivitamin is something that we should always kind of have as a staple. And the reason why is really our food supply. It's just not the same as it used to be. We are so much more micronutrient depleted in our food supply. So when we think about these minerals and these vitamins that we should be extracting from our nutrients, we just aren't getting them. There's just not the same quantity in our circulating population of food. So we do need support. We need a multivitamin to address a lot of times some of these nutrient deficiencies that we have. And a quality multivitamin will just kind of help set the stage for preventing significant deficiencies. It may not help you rebuild some levels that are very compromised, but in general, it's going to help prevent the significant deficiencies that may form. So in my opinion, on a day-to-day basis, a multivitamin is a very good thing to have in your arsenal, in your supplement cabinet, in your daily routine. So when thinking about a multivitamin, it can be super confusing. Like, which one do I take? How do I know it's good? So here's some things that you want to look for in terms of a low quality multivitamin. So if you see these things, put it back on the shelf, walk away, get something better. Okay. And the first one is when you look at the ingredient list. So I'm going to pull one up here. It's called a 1 a day. Okay. So I pulled up 1 a day men's complete multivitamin. So you're going to see these a lot in like Walgreens, CVS, drugstores, pharmacy sections, and grocery stores. This 1 a day, when reading it, so the ingredients, calcium carbonate, magnesium oxide. I can stop right there. So when looking at calcium carbonate, that's a very low, poor quality form of calcium. It's not a chelated form. This is not going to be digested well. It will then lead to calcification because it's not going to be digested and utilized properly. It can lead to calcification of tendons and ligaments and even your arterial system. So calcium deposits can be found in plaque of your arteries. It can be found in tendons. Magnesium oxide, a very low quality form of magnesium. So first thing, when looking at the ingredients list, the first 2 ingredients, I already know, hey, this is terrible. But if we were to keep going, the 4th ingredient is maltodextrin. Okay, so we're going to avoid things like calcium carbonate, lesser quality forms of minerals. We want to avoid these additives like multidextrin. And then even looking at their B vitamins, you're going to see things like folic acid. Folic, F-O-L-I-C, acid. You may even see like cyanocobalamin. So that those first few letters of B12, CYANO, that is a poor quality CYANO of B12. Okay, so looking at this supplement, obviously we're throwing it away. It's not something that we're going to even be able to digest well, utilize properly. And if you have any type of B vitamin conversion issues genetically, you're not going to use it well. Okay, so a ton of just poor, nasty starches, and even there's a lot of dyes in these multivitamins. So the first thing we want to look for are these corn starches or maltodextrin or food colorings and dyes that are added. Okay. The other things that we want to avoid are these types of minerals that are just lesser forms. So again, if you see that oxide, that is not a quality form of magnesium. So let's talk now, like progressing. So that's like your capsule version. You will even see in like liquid versions or powder forms in children's multivitamins, you'll see like high fructose corn syrup or corn syrup. You'll see artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame. Those are not quality sweeteners, okay? The safer ones would be more of your monk fruit or your stevia, okay? You'll see some sugar alcohols like erythritol, sorbitol. Those are great, okay? One of the particular children multivitamins that we sell in the office is from a company called Orthomolecular, and they have a supplement called a Super Nut, and that is a safe sweetener, chewable-based multivitamin. And the great thing with that for kids, and we'll get into it, those are methylated multivitamins, methylated B vitamins. So look for some of those ingredients, and if you see them, run away, put them back on the shelf, go to something else. All right, so let's talk about what things we should see. What are we looking for when it comes into when we look at the ingredient list? We look at that multivitamin, we flip it over, and we see the supplement facts. What are the things that we want to look for? A lot of times what you want to see when it comes to things like your minerals, okay? So like a good multivitamin, one, is going to have a broad-based vitamin, okay? A's, B's, C. You'll see a good grouping of minerals. And minerals are like molybdenum, chromium, selenium, zinc, magnesium, iodine. You'll see sometimes calcium. So these minerals are so important because they actually help vitamin production in our body. These minerals are essential because we're so deficient in our water supply of these minerals. So when looking at minerals, a lot of times what I'll look for is the word called chelate. C-H-E-L-A-T-E, chelate. Magnesium chelate, for instance. Now, a lot of times that magnesium chelate is like a magnesium glycinate. Okay. But a chelated form of a mineral means it's attached to another molecule and it helps the absorption of it. All right. Magnesium malate, for instance, you might see. Okay. These are better forms of minerals and much more absorbable. So when looking at your multivitamin supplement facts, look under the mineral section and make sure you're seeing these chelated minerals. Again, C-H-E-L-A-T-E. Some people will call it chelate. It's not chelate, it's called chelate or chelation. Okay, chelated forms of minerals. When you're looking at the B vitamin section, this is very easy to determine if it's a quality product. Like you can almost go right to it. And if you see these words, then you know it's a quality product. So specific B vitamins, let's talk about a big one, which is B9. A lot of times you're going to see it as folate or folic acid. So what we're looking for here is not folic acid, F-O-L-I-C. We are looking for methylfolate, a methylated form of folate. Okay, it may even be called L5-MTHF. We're looking for like B12. We want it to be methylcobalamin. Okay, that first part of the vitamin where it's called methyl means it's methylated. It's a different form that if you have any methylation defects, which means you can't efficiently convert B vitamins to their usable active form, then this is so important to make sure you're getting right. Okay, you also see things like under B6, you'll see pyridoxal 5-phosphate. That's a great methylated form of B6. So when looking at your multi, if you go to B6, 9, and 12, B6 being pyridoxal 5-phosphate, B9 being methylfolate, B12 being methylcobalamin. These are essential to make sure that these are methylated. So kind of a recap, right? We're looking for these chelated minerals. Second thing we want to look for are these methyl B vitamins. At this point, we know it's a good quality multi. But things that we also may want to see in our multi are vitamin D, like fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. Those 4 fat-soluble vitamins are very, very good for our bodies. We just don't consume usually enough fatty fish and eggs and get enough sunlight. So fat-soluble vitamins are very important to a lot of us, that we need them. We're a lot of times deficient in them. So when looking at a multi, we're looking for minerals that are chelated, B vitamins that are methylated, and we're looking for those fat-soluble vitamins. If we get that, then gosh, it's great. We're crushing it. The multivitamin is perfect. The other things you want to look for, again, are the ingredients list. Are there poor sweeteners? Is there high fructose corn syrups in general, artificial sweeteners like sucralose? Do we see maltodextrin? Do we see cornstarch? Do we see food colorings and dyes? Do we see these less absorbable forms of minerals like the magnesium oxide? And if we do, obviously, hey guys, these are things you want to look for. Go ahead and get them out. Don't use them. And find something better. Okay? One thing to keep in mind, I mentioned to you earlier in the show about children's multivitamins, and one of my favorites, again, is Super Newts. I think that's a great multivitamin. For adults, I use one from a company called Designs for Health called Primal Multi. So that's a fan. I'm a fan of that one. Prenatals. This is something that's really important. Make sure your prenatal is spot on. Ortho Molecular has a great prenatal, and it's called Prenatal Complete with DHA. And I love their prenatal because it adds DHA in it. It's all methylated, has those minerals, but it adds DHA, which is a type of omega-3 fatty acid essential for the first trimester development of the baby's nervous system. So that DHA is crucial for that first try. So that orthomolecular, again, comes into play there with that prenatal. It's one of my favorite prenatals on the market. So anyway, if you need any help, right, you can always message us. We can give you links. But this grouping of multivitamins, prenatals, is an essential component to everyday health. So for the mom who's thinking about, babies, we talk about this in our fertility episode. But remember, your nutrition matters a year before you think about having kids. Start on the prenatal a year before thinking about having kids. Why? Because the egg you released today was developing nutritionally a year ago. Right? And that's why we talk about fertility, infertility specifically, being a year process. If you're unable to conceive in a year, then there's a technicality of infertility, and it's because of the egg release cycle. The egg development to release takes a year. So your nutrition today matters. Think a year ahead, not a day ahead. Start your prenatal now. Stay on it between kids. Stay on it because of that high nutritional need for keeping your body repleted. Okay? If you're going through cycles of changing different supplements, multivitamin, in my opinion, should always be there. All right? So that should wrap up multivitamin. Easy, quick, in and out, done. Think about this, okay? If you want to talk about anything with vaccines, if you have any questions, if you want to address something very specific, a hot topic question, whatever it is, we will do a Q&A at the beginning or end of each podcast that's addressing your question specifically. So I want you to Instagram message us, or you can literally send us a question through Spotify. There's a Q&A section, and you can write your question out right there. Okay? So just make sure you get those questions to us so that we can address those on future episodes as we step into talking about vaccines. Such a good topic. All right. I pray you guys have a great day. Thanks for listening to the Real Health Podcast.
Thanks so much for listening to the Real Health Podcast with Dr. B. Before you get out of here, before you exit, there are two things that would really help the Real Health Podcast. One would be to share it on your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever you're on a social network. And then two, go to Apple Podcasts and scroll to the bottom and give us a 5-star review and leave us a review. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.